Today, as you can see here on my desk, I have the Creative Memories 110 Scrapbooking Borders, Ideas, and Sketches book. And we are going to pick out a border and then create the border and turn it into a fast, simple page today. I have a one-page layout for you. So the border I chose for today is right here on page 69, and it's this one right here, but I will go ahead and put it up here on the screen so we could take a closer look. But if you're following along in the book, it's page 69. Here's what it looks like up close. A very straightforward border. Pretty simple. It has a base and then a layer, and then the top layer is where they brought in the punches, and here they used a chain border making cartridge. The special technique that they did was they double punched it or punched it twice for that pink layer, and then they punched it a third time in a different color and placed it on top. And I believe, if I remember correctly, in the directions, which you can find, I also linked those above in the description, they popped that up onto some foam tape. And then they put some very simple embellishments and the title. So very easy, and I think this one's going to come together pretty quickly for us today. So come on back and I'll show you my plan for today. My plan today is I brought in some mostly I brought in paper from Serenity Paper Pack. I love that collection. And I brought in also for my base page today is going to be this Fast to Fab inspired page, as well as some other pattern paper. And then this pattern paper I had hanging around, and I thought it's going to be perfect for my border today. So let's go ahead and begin with that. I'm going to be bringing in the new Scalloped Hearts punch. It actually can go either way, but there you go. It's a super gorgeous punch. I'm just loving this one. And that's what I'm going to use today. I have some photos of my son and his girlfriend at the time, but now wife, and they're very cute photos. So I thought this heart was going to be perfect to display the love in the photos. Okay, so first thing, actually, what I want to do is trim this blue piece down. Okay, I'm going to cut it down to a 2.5 by 12 inch piece. Put this aside because I am going to use the back side as well. And now I'll bring in my border making system and that Scalloped Heart cartridge, and I'm going to punch along one side. So what they did in the inspiration up there is they actually punched out two. It was a chain border cartridge that they used, but mine's an edge punch. And kind of create the same look though using an edge punch that they did with the chain style. This one has those really cute hearts. I might keep a couple of those aside. I'm going to turn this around and double punch it here. So instead of having two that I'm going to mount onto a strip of paper, I'm going to double punch this one instead. So it looks like it's not quite going to hold on very nicely. So let me grab some Post-its to hold that in place. Okay, that's going to give me a little bit of traction to hold that paper still once I bring back the tray. And I'm just going to punch it out on the other side. So this, I started with 2.5 inches. By starting with the 2.5 inch piece, it gave me a nice open area in the middle here that I can work with. A little bit different than what they had in the inspiration, but I wanted it to work with this cartridge. So then what they did was they took one and they popped it up right here in the center. But to create one strip, I'm going to bring back in this paper and then turn it over and use the gold side. And I don't want to do just one in the middle, so I'm going to punch this twice and then butt them up next to each other. see, my idea is then to help create the same look is to put these in the middle. Let's see. And then this one right up on top of it like that. Scoot it up just a tad. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Let me go ahead and adhere this first one down. So this is kind of giving me the same look that they had in the inspiration, where we have 2 rows of the punch out and then 1 row on top here. Okay, if you wanted to, you could come back in here with a little bit of thin piece of paper or a little thin piece of washi. And let's see, I had some washi sitting here. I thought maybe if my seam was bigger, but I don't really have a seam now. But let's see what that would look like. I'm thinking this has a little bit of blue and gold on it as well. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let me center that a little bit better. I will go ahead and add that. Gives it just a little bit punch of color, and the gold pops out. Okay, so that's my take on the base and the layers. So let me add, on the top layer, I'm kind of going backwards today. So instead of creating the base, I did the top layer first. Let me bring back in my trimmer and some paper. Now for the base, I think I'm going to bring in this beautiful green paper from Serenity Collection. And let's see, which way do I want the pattern to be flowing? Maybe long ways. And so this I originally cut at 2.5 inches. So I think I'm going to take this one at 2.5 inches. This will be the very back base part. The base, and now I need 1 layer. And for that, I'm going to bring in this tan or beige piece, also from Serenity Collection. And I'm going to do, this one was 2.5. I'm going to do this one at 2.25. And it'll look like this. This one on top of that one, and then this on top of all of that. Yeah, I like that a lot. So let me go ahead and get my adhesive and we'll get this all laid down. Okay, so now to create the embellishment. So I'm going to, let me show you my photos. I have some photos of my son and his now wife, and this was a couple years ago, and I'm kind of going to go off of her dress here, and she has these big beautiful flowers on her dress. So I want to create my cluster to kind of represent her dress. So I have this big floral embellishment. I feel like it looks almost identical to what she has there. And I'm going to center this. Let's go ahead and put that down with a little bit of repo in case I change my mind. But just to hold it in place. I'm okay with it protruding off of both sides, so that's good. Then I'm going to bring in a few leaves. I just went through my leaf box. I'm sure I've showed you guys that before. It's just a box that I have collected a bunch of little leaves in over the time, and then I go through it every once in a while and pick out what I like. And I like the green, looked like the green in her dress there, so I'm just going to have it kind of coming down. And I like this grayish white one that I had in there. Let's see, let's move this one up. And I'm just going to really just have those coming out toward the bottom like that. Kind of just give more depth and make my embellishment area bigger. So I'll tuck that right under there. And then this one, so I'm kind of just making sure that they're kind of touching each other and touching the embellishment, this big white embellishment here. Put a little bit more adhesive on now that I'm in the position. Come on this side too. There we go. And then I also want to bring my title in like they did. And these are just some random photos. They went to a friend's wedding and someone took these gorgeous photos for them, and they were just such nice photos. Look at the color there. So I found this really generic title. It says "Life is Awesome." And I'm just going to put it right here, but I am going to pop that up onto some foam tape first. Okay, let's put that somewhere right around here. There we go. And that's my border. Pretty simple. Now on theirs, they had the cluster kind of moved over here. I think that would really depend on your layout and how you wanted to, if you needed more room on your actual page to move it over, or whatever your style is, then you would want to move that around. Okay, let me bring in my base page and create this quick, easy page. So like I said, I'm using this Fast to Fab inspired page from the Serenity Collection. The backside's really cute too, but it has two areas, and I have only one here, and I am going to cover this up. And I'm going to take my border and put it right down here, so that now the sprigs of the foliage is kind of going into my base page. I think that really helps to tie in your page together. And then I'm just going to line my photos up. Let's see. I've already trimmed these to 5.5 by 3.5 so that they'll span across the page. I love that. So I think I am going to keep my border right here. So I'll go ahead and adhere that down. Now I don't want my photos just floating on the page, although that looks very nice as well, but I do want to bring in some kind of mat or something behind those. So I don't want to mat them all. I want to bring in this white piece. It has like a little, kind of almost like a checkered pattern on it. This is from the same collection, so everything kind of goes together. The only thing that wasn't from the Serenity Collection was the blue and the gold paper, but I think that it matched so well with her dress that it helps to tie, everything is going to tie right in together. This one, I want to do something a little different, so I'm going to go 5.5 inches. A 6-inch, I could encompass and enclose all the photos on, but with 5.5 inches, I want to do something a little different. It'll be a little smaller, and I'm going to slide this right in behind here. And I want the photos to kind of lay on the paper, but yet dangling off as well. Something a little different. Not something I normally do. I'll space those out nice and evenly. And there we go. Yep, I think that added a lot. It really helped to kind of pop them out, and it kind of helps. It's kind of like each picture has its own space now. Then I want to do a very small embellishment cluster right up here. So I brought in a few things from my stash. Oh, everything is from my stash, right? And I have this little laser cut die cut. It's going to be perfect. The colors match great, and I'm thinking I want it up here somewhere, and I just want another small embellishment area. So I have that. Let's see. Yeah, I like it kind of like that. Tuck it under the photo and kind of going upward. I just got to get it. There we go. I like that angle. And then I have a sticker from one of my Totally Tonal stickers. I think this was beige, and it just says love, and I thought that's super cute. I want to put that right up here. Let me grab some more foam squares. And then a few more tiny embellishments. I guess you can even call these some finishing touches. I have a few little butterfly stickers that came off the same sheet that the title came off of. I have a little green one, and I'm going to put it right down here. And then I have a little beige one that I'm going to put right up here. The last thing I want to do is bring in some gems, and I just think these are so beautiful. I have to decide what color. I'm kind of liking the dark brown ones. I have now added some brown into my layout, and there's also some brown here. They're standing on a little grassy or little dirt area in front of that pond. So I just have to decide. Let's see, maybe 2. There we go. And maybe I might use that last little one. Maybe go 3 in a row, or maybe come off to the side over here. Yep, I like it right here. Lay it down there a little gently. There we go. Okay. And I think that's it. I don't think I'm going to add any down here. Yep, I'm going to stop there, and that's all the finishing touches I'm going to add. And that is my super quick layout today using the border from page 69 in our 110 border ideas and sketchbook, and another page done in my book. I'm super happy about that. That was super quick. I hope you guys give this one a try. It was fun. It was super easy. Any chain style border should work with this, and as you see, any edge style, as long as you just tweak it ever so slightly and work with whatever your page is. Okay, well, that's all I have for today. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.